Do you know who the first group that the failed Austrian painter and his political party in 1930s era Germany targeted after they rose to power? It's not the group that you're thinking of. The first group that they targeted were members of the LGBTQIA plus community. You know why? The reason why they targeted that group for extermination and disappearing was because that group was the least powerful, marginalized community of that era. And during the Weimar Republic, the gay community was thriving in that era of Germany. Part of the reason that the failed Austrian painter was able to rise to power was due to the fact that he identified that group as one of the group of quote unquote degenerates that was ruining Germany. And that was where the extermination approach started. And as typical with fascist movements, there's always one marginalized group that is either identified by either race or gender. And as that group gets eliminated, other groups get identified until you have a smaller and smaller group of quote unquote pure individuals that are able to remain in society. Why is all of that important? The reason why it's important is because the President of the United States on his social media platform just used the symbol that party from 1930s era Germany used to say that that community was no longer allowed or welcomed in society. Let that sink in. We've spent the better part of 10 years telling you and showing you that this group of white Christian nationalists that is embedded in the Republican Party is no different than the group of white Christian nationalists that rose to power in the 20s and 30s in Germany. They've shown you throughout the campaign, they've shown you with their salutes, and now the President of the United States is showing you with the symbolism. So for all of you white voters who voted for Trump, by you staying on the sidelines, you are co-signing on this. So it's time for you to decide, what is the type of world that you want to be living in? Is this what you signed up for? Is this what you're backing? Because the only way that's going to get stopped is if you stop being cowards and stand up and lead from the front and demand that this administration change course. In order for something to change, it's going to require you, the white Trump voter who didn't sign up for this, to stand up and be vocal and demand a change. Because frankly, we of the marginalized community are not going to lead from the front because we don't trust you. And you've got to demonstrate that you are fully against what is happening. How much more evidence do you need before you realize that all of his talk about being a dictator and all of his cozying up to dictators around the world was done with a specific purpose? And that specific purpose is to make sure that he is leading a society that is run by the billionaires. And it doesn't include you. This is just the start. Wake up.